to have a creative and innovative mindset. Next slide, please. So these are the skills which is required at present for all means for all sectors, not only for the engineering and science and the humanities or arts. It is for common for all. So as per NEP 2020, New Education Policy 2020, which has a timeline for 20 years to implement, it actually focuses on that all our education system should be on STEM based, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, STEM based, which is already there in the developed countries. So these are the important skills which I have figured out for the students. Like one is you should have the curiosity and imagination. You should have the initiativeness and entrepreneurship. That's why I said entrepreneurship is also important as part of the job. You should be agile and adaptable. You should have the critical thinking and problem solving. You should have effective oral and written communication, very important. And I know that engineering students have these skills very much. Then you should be in a position to have a collaboration across networks and leading by influence, and you should be accessing and analyzing informations. So these are the skills which is required to have for all the students who want to succeed in the job market. So the next slide, I will show you how to get ready for the job. Next slide, please. Now, how to get to the job market? So one way is that placement happens. So placement, but nowadays, if placement happens also, they will look into the special skills of the students apart from their marks they have obtained in the in the seventh semester. So apart from these are the things you need to have if you are actually appearing to preparing to appear for these placements, campus placements, or you go to write for some competitive exams like for after GATE. If you are applying for any PSUs, so these are the things you need to have nowadays because these are required. So for this, you have to brush up all your digital communication skills. You should look online and not just a single social media. So you should be adaptable to all social medias for gathering informations. You should look out for online networking events, particularly for the professionals, particularly for the students, particularly for the researchers, particularly for the entrepreneurs. And for this, there are many online the many social medias are there for online networking events. Like LinkedIn is there, like you can go for the Instagram. So all these are having so you should search for this for online networking events. You should keep your professional details updated in the social media like LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. And you should keep your professional profile photo on the social media. That profile photo should be professional one, not just a simple photo, a social photo, but you should have a professional photo updated on the LinkedIn and Instagram along with your professional details. Now, next slide. Now, as I'm responding to engineering students, the most important thing you cannot keep it aside is Industry 4.0. So during this pandemic situation, one thing is very clear: due to digitizations, all industries are adapting to Industry 4.0, which is the advanced version of IoT, and which we can say as IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things. So Industry 4.0, if you see, we need all these things like AI assistant for employees. So all the processes and parameters and methods which have been adopted nowadays in the big corporation industries are basically AI enabled. So students should have this cognitive thinking approach and that logical thinking approach, critical thinking approach to adapt with this AI assistance. An intelligent training delivery system they have adopted. They have adopted a mixed reality driven labs for these engineering activities. They are more into the software visibility, more into digital asset management, more into operation intelligence, more into predictive analytics, more into intelligent supply chains, more into no touch order processing, digital order platforms, ecosystem collaboration platforms, and the SaaS. Then the IoT as a service, they are also adopting the hyper personalization services and solutions. So for this, the students need to understand how these cross-functional and organizational level groups are working, like how this R&D is working. The whole process is written in the mid that they have first to go for the ideation, conceptualizations, design and development. then value analysis, then you can go for vendor, quality, planning. So all sectors are covered here. So if you are into like R&D, if you want to go for sourcing, if you are going to manufacturing, go for delivery, go for marketing sales, go for after sales, everywhere is spanned by or it is covered by Industry 4.0. So this actually particular figure, photo which I am showing here is mostly that the manufacturing sector is at the critical juncture regarding digital change. So job seekers should have the unifying vision and capable to execute it. So they should have this unifying vision, like how Industry 4.0 from the industry perspective, and what are the activities it is being affecting the sectors because of this digitization is happening. So next slide, please. So now we are speaking so much. Now you can see these 21st century skills. So what are those 21st century skills? So this is basically into three pillars. One is called foundational literacies, one is called competencies, another is character qualities. If I say for the foundational literacies, so how students apply these core skills to everyday tasks. Now, as I said earlier, also they should be digital literate. They should have the capability for numericals. They should have the scientific literacy. They should go for the ICT literacy, means information and communication system literacy. They should have the financial literacy, and they should have cultural and civic literacy. So all these six literacies are required to acquire this first pillar of 21st century skills. So this can be imbibed not only through your core studies, but through like attending these professional events, by going through all the things happening in the world, by visiting some websites of the universities, visiting the websites of some industries, how they are working, how they have changed their working processes. So this literacy is very much required to get acquainted with this first pillar of 21st century skills. Second is competencies. In competencies, students approach towards complex challenges via critical thinking, problem solving, then creativity, communication, collaboration. So these four parameters of the second pillar of competencies are required to be developed. These are need of the hour. The students, along with the support of the faculty, should develop these four important competencies to acquire the second pillar of 21st century skills. And third one is most important is character qualities. So how students approach the changing environment, that is always based on their curiosity, their initiativeness, their persistence, their adaptability, their leadership skills, leadership styles, and their social and cultural awareness. So these again the six of the last pillar also for this character and qualities. So all these three pillars of foundational literacies, competencies, and character qualities are very prominent, very important for any students and faculties to understand, to sustain their grip, to sustain their competencies in the upcoming market, means 21st century market. Now, in the next slide, I will show you what is the background of the 21st century challenges. So these are based on some of the very prominent research done under UNESCO working paper, The Future of Learning. So over the last 25 years, several institutions and international organizations from proposed frameworks and outlined competencies which are required to address the 21st century challenges. One of this is called Delors report, where they have identified that learning to know, learning to do, and learning to live together, and learning to be. So these are the things as reported by Delors report is very important for any job seeking students, job how to be the job ready for the 21st century challenges. As per the WHO life skills, they are saying that they are pick up this all these 5 points, very important points, as decision making and problem solving has to be there among the students. They should have the creative thinking and critical thinking. They should have communication and interpersonal skills. They should be self-aware and empathy. They should have the empathy. Empathy means human-centric, and that is called design thinking. So empathy is basically a part of the design thinking, which is can be called as human-centric design or human-centric approach to any problem statements, and how to cope with the emotions and coping with the stress. This is as per WHO life skills. Then come OECD, a document called 21st Century Skills. and competencies for the new millennium learners in OECD countries, these oil exporting countries, detail three major dimensions. One is communication, second is information, and third is ethics and social impact. Then come P21, whose paper said that there are basically 11 competencies which are being combined to three skills. One is learning and innovation skills. You have to have this learning and innovation skills. You should have the information, media, and technological skills. And the third one is life and career skills. In next slide, two more are there. So Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation APEC has identified the development of 21st century competencies among youth as a pressing international concern. So ATCS have said they have categorized 21st century skills into four types. Number one, ways of thinking means how we are going to think now. Ways of working, how we're going to work now. Tools for working, so what are the tools available for you post pandemic or in the pandemic situations? Tools have lots of tools have changed, modified, adapted, and how to live in the world, living in the present world. And UNESCO working paper have revisited and divided all the above skills which I've shown you into learning to know, learning to do, and learning to live type. So these three are the three important part of the papers which I shown for the 21st century challenges done for the last 25 years. Next slide, please. So these are the gist of the components of 21st century skills. So it is being categorized into three shown in the red. One is learning skills, one is literary skills, and one is life skills. So if I say for the learning skill, it is four C's. Four C's means four C. One C is critical thinking, one C is creativity and innovations, one C is collaboration, and last skill is communications. In case of literary skills, it is IMT. IMT means information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy. And third is life skills, that is called FLIPS, which is flexibility and adaptability, L for leadership and responsibility, and I for initiative and self-direction, and C and S for social and cross-cultural interactions. So please note down, these are the three important skills as per the UNESCO. So you need to adapt in yourself apart from your technical qualifications, so that you can perform better than others. Others means competitors, and you can get better job. You can have a job continuity, and you can also give best of yourself to the industry or the sector. So next slide, please. So this is again broken down. You can just find out. These are the three things which I have shown. Now just broken down that how this information literacy, media literacy, then all this is summing up to the center called 21st century skills. So learning skills, then you can have this critical thinking, communication skill, life skill. All things are now being put up into one page, consisting of these three type of skills which I have told you. That is learning skills, literary skills, and life skills, consisting of four C's, IMT and FLIPS. The next slide. So this is the creativity and innovations. This is one slide. Actually, I have taken into this so that I can make you understand something like what is creativity and innovations, because these are the things which is required not only for the job but also for the entrepreneurship. Suppose any one of you is interested in being an entrepreneurship, then I can guide you, handhold you, starting from the ideation to start of the business, along with the funding from the government of India under CDB and many other schemes are there. But for this, you need to have the ecosystem of creativity and innovations, which you should have this. You should have your you can say interest towards how to be a creative and innovative. So these creativity skills are basically you should have the curiosity, like you should be inquiring, you should be observing, researching. You should have the mindedness, that is listening, think differently, exploring the pain points. You should have the imaginations to have ideas, select from the best and how to invent it. You should have the problem solving skills, like how to identify, how to respond, and how to work out for the present solution. So these are the things like curiosity, open-mindedness, imagination, and problem solving, which will help not only for the entrepreneurship but also for you to rise up in your industry in which you are being recruited, so that you can actually give your best to the industries, valuable contribution to the industries through your creativity and innovativeness, because these are the things which is required in the 21st century skills as we are more digitized as earlier. Next slide. And these are for the communication skill importance, that you should be in a position to listen more. You should be in a position to have this control over your non-verbal communications, because like gestures, postures, eye movements, you should be very clear in your in your deliverables. You speak. You should be concise. You should be confident. You should be personable, and you should be patient. So these are some of the elements, 7 elements, which is required for having a better communication skills while appearing for the interview, in a job interview. So if these skills are there for in your you are adapted to this, then obviously you will do well. You will perform well in your job interviews also. Next slide. Now comes leadership skills. So this is required because a leadership skill is most important nowadays, because mostly the industries are working from home, staying at a distance, working on the because you'll be more interacting with the machines rather than interacting with the people. So how to gather these leadership skills? For this, you should be having the compatibility towards teamwork. Though they are working from distance, you should have the motivations. You should be motivating others also. You should have the competence for the particular skill or area. You should be very well versed about what are the skills you are for. You should take the responsibilities. You should have the better communication skill as I shown, and you should have the power means what? Power to change the situations or to make the situation comfortable for your team members, for the industries at large. And you should always be supportive. So these are some of the skills, like you can say 3 to 6 to 8 skills is also required to get adapted by you for making yourself ready for the industries. Next slide. Now, how to improve your CV? I thought I should also put it into a board so that you can say, as I said, that your CV should be updated in like LinkedIn, Instagram. But how to make it? So your skills should be like you should consist of the social skills. The most important, that how you are coordinating with others during your CV should reflect. So as you are not have any job now, but you are already a member of some of the clubs of the BIT Century. So that is also you can consider as an association, as an industry, as a setup, isn't it? So in that particular area, or you are doing some vocational training, or you are engaged with some professional group, you are engaged with some organization, so that can be considered the industry. And for the preliminary part, you can take up these skills in your CV, like how you're coordinating with others in the association or that particular group, how you have showing your emotional intelligence examples, how you are with the negotiation skills. Do you have any service orientations which is shown in the CV, that is apart from your job related activities, responsibilities, and other training and teaching others? If you did any training and teaching to others, to some other section of society, some other people, then you should have also show your process skills, like you are an active listener, you are a critical thinker, you are aware of yourself and others. Then you should have the resource management skills, like how you are managing the resources and finances, how you are managing the material resources to which you are being authorized or you are being given the responsibility, how you are going for the human resource management, how you are managing the time. And apart from the technical skills, obviously, if I say for the electrical engineering, then what type of equipments, maintenance, and repairs you are adapted to, or you can do it during your training programs or during your vocational training programs, or any attending any professional events or publishing any papers. Then you should be in a position to have the equipment operation and control, programming, quality control, technology and user experience, and troubleshooting. So these are the some of the things in nutshell I'm showing you, which you should be including in your CV, so that your CV should reflect your professionalism, your cognitive thinking approach, your critical thinking approach, and your adaptability to the new situations, which we are saying as new normal or next normal. Now I'll show you some of the selected some industries where you can just go to, you can see the photo which have been shown in the slides. What are the skills which is very much effective or very much prominent in a particular industry? So next slide is for the basic and infrastructure jobs like if I speaking for a job like assembly of factory, plant operators, chemical engineers, civil engineers, construction laborers, or manufacturing, mining, and construction managers at a glance, then if I see the highest is basically if I say that the yellow one, and the yellow one is problem solving. So in this type of particular basic and infrastructure industries, so recruitment is basically done for those, may it be engineers or workers or managers. So the industry is looking for, they should have this problem solving. And next highest is systems. They should be system driven. They should know how to operate in the systems. And then you can see the black one is basically for the technical compatibility, and 19 that blue one is processes. So these are some of the parameters which required and judged by the industries for the recruitment in such type of basic industries. The next slide. If I go for the energy like I'm from the energy sector, like oil and gas industries or power industries. So there can be many type of jobs like energy, petroleum engineers, technology engineers, assembly and factory workers, mining and petroleum extraction, engineers and workers, and mining and petroleum plant operators. So for this, if you see again the problem solving, and then the process, then the resource management, and then the social question. These are the most important prominent, and system obviously is there. So these are some of the parameters which are required and demands in the of skills in the industry of this type of industries called energy sectors. Next slide. This is for ICT, information technology sector. So here you can see again the maximum point is given to problem solving. Then next is if you can see is blue one is process, and then systems. Then you can then all are same line. That those are social, resource management, and technical. So these are the skills. But everywhere in last three slides you have seen the most prominent is problem solving and processes, isn't it? So next slide. This is for media, entertainment, and informations. Again, if you see here, problem solving is not the prominent. Prominents are all three. Those are social, resources, and processes. So you should be very much, if as the electrical engineer, if you're into a media, entertainment, information sector, then this social and resource management and process, these skills are prominent here. So you should be very much comfortable with this. Next slide. If I say for professional services like HR services, data analyst, or you can say sales and marketing professionals, or real estate agents, or business service administration managers, or general and operations managers, then the skills again the problem solving is prominent, and the other two prominency are of resource management and processes, and then comes social quotient has to be there, and then comes technical and systems. So these are the skills which are in demand. So I am actually talking of this all six to seven skills only. Next slide. This is for consumer industries. Again, in consumer industries, the most important thing how you're managing the resources, how you're managing the social networking and all these things, and how you're managing the process problem solving activities. Apart from that, again, systems is also prominent, and processes, and finally technical. Next slide. For financial services and investors, suppose as an engineer you go do the MBA in finance, or I said or CA or something, then you go into this finance industry. Then again, the problem solving is always again the first prominence. The second prominence is your process, and after that all the five are in the same line. Because it means you need to have all. You need to have the technical skills also. Next slide. For the healthcare again, all these six parameters if I've taken, then Again, problem solving is everywhere. Problem solving is everywhere. It's required. Process everywhere is required. Social everywhere is required mostly, and others are basically also required, but not to that mark. Next slide. This is mobility. Mobility means like assembling and factory work in assembling and factory workers and seat and structural metal workers, like construction industry basically. Mobility, mobility is there. Industrial production engineers, supply chain and logistics specialists who are dealing with the mobility of the infrastructure, mobility of the resources. For them, all parameters are required. If I see, all are the same point except problem solving at the highest one. Otherwise, all six are required. Next slide. So this is just an example I want to give that apart from all these things which I've shown, this is the general one. But apart from that, what I thought that I should also speak on side, like you are from electrical engineering. So if you want to, if any one of you want to be interested in data science, okay, you want to make yourself proficient in data science with some PG degree or later on you can go for some masters. So, because data science is the most important job factor which is being seen in the pandemic situation, because it has taken the world by storm. Now, organizations are using data science to enhance their product, business decisions, marketing effectiveness. And there has been a 29% increase in demand for the data scientists over year and year, and the dramatic upswing of 344% increase since 2013. So mostly the sectors which are engaged with data science are like banking, healthcare, retail, education, government, manufacturing, entertainment, and transportations. Next slide. So this is co-concurrence network visualization of data science, like how this data science is involved with all these things. Like you must be knowing this Python, R, and all this. So these are some of the software skills. So with this, any data science important skills are these. So if you can take any one of the skill of this, that you can at least work on the data science field, and which is very promising in next 3 to 4 years, because most of the job which is being seen now will be like 80% of the job which is being seen now will not be available in next 4 to 5 years. So some other jobs will be job skills will be required. Our jobs will be taken care of those. So one of those which I thought I should share with you is data science. Next slide. So these are the common data science skills for job postings. Any graduates, engineering graduates, if is asking, if thinking that which skill I should think of, then this is the figure. If you are with Python, then most of the jobs are posted in Python. In R is 64%, SQL 51%, Hadoop 39%, Java 33%, and goes on. So if you have the skill, any of the skill like Python, R, or SQL, then most chances are that you will be recruited, and most of the job postings are there on these particular top three skills in data science. Next slide. So what skills make a data science? There are two actually. One is data scientist, one is data engineer. So what I am talking here is first is data scientist. So these are the top skills. You should have a position to. You have the knowledge of machine learning. So machine learning is not very tough to understand for engineers like us. And secondly, you should be a strong knowledge of any one of the skill like Python, SAS, R, SQL. Then you should have the hands-on experience in SQL database coding. Nowadays, you can have this hands-on experience online also. So there are many websites where you can register yourself, and with some are giving it free, some are charging very less fees. So you can have a hands-on experience on this type of SQL database activities coding. Then you should have the position to ability to work with unstructured data, because unstructured data are basically deep learning and structured data are machine learning. And you can understand have multiple analytical skills. So if you have all these five skills, then obviously you are having the skills for being a data scientist in future. Next slide. So these are data analyst skill. Again, I have just shown it, which are basically, if I say that you have the knowledge of mathematical statistics, obviously being an engineer, this is not equations, not a question. You are having this skill. You should be fluent in understanding of R and Python. That is need to be acquired. You should have the data wrangling skills. Data that can also be acquired through learning, and you can understand PIG and HIV. That is also you can understand once you are interested to go for this data analysis or data scientist skills. Next slide. So this is one quote I like to show it to you by Alexander Dan Heiser, that you inspire people not by showing them how amazing you are, but by showing them how amazing they are. So this is the thing I try to make it in the slides for you, for all of you, so that you can have a better future, better job after passing out from Sindri. And also, you can work a lot for this economy of the country, either through entrepreneurship, either doing a better job, better in the activities in your job as an intrapreneur. One is entrepreneur, one is intrapreneur. So thank you once again to HOD sir, Arvind Singh sir, and electrical department of our beloved BIT Sindri, and all students who have attended this session, hearing so patiently what I told you. And I also request for any help, any support. I'm always there as an alumni. I'm there to support you, there to help you, there to guide you. So you can approach me anytime. All my communication details are with RP Singh sir. So with this, I'm again thankful to you. Thank you, sir. Any questions? I can answer if you have any questions.
Students, you can ask your questions. If anyone having any question? Sir, I have one question, sir.
Yes, tell me, sir.
Sir, some students of first year and second year, they are interested to do BTech project of electrical engineering in entrepreneurship. Okay, they are telling that, sir, we want to complete our final year BTech project on theme of entrepreneurship. So what we should do? Would we allow, or if we will allow, what will be the mode and what type of project they can do?
No, they can do it. They can do it. See, entrepreneurship means ultimately whatever project they will be doing, they can start their own business. That should be the focal point. What I was to say like that it is very good that first and second semester students are interested. So they should actually be motivated. I like to say that let them start in such a way that it should not only be a project in fifth semester, but it should be a ground. It should be groundwork for them to be an entrepreneur after passing out from Sindri. They should be entrepreneur. They should be in a position to give someone job. They should be in a position to create jobs.
What I told them that you do, but you include some technology. So
yes,
that
obviously, technology. See, without technology, because these are the things they are having in the institute, such a beautiful research lab and all these things, and such a high esteemed faculties like you. So technology has to be there, but not only technology. As I said, technology should be human centric.
Yeah.
So I can guide you. I can guide those students who are interested, like starting from like how they are thinking of the idea, the ideation of their activities. Then I can guide them like whether it is feasible or not. If it is feasible, obviously all faculties are there. But as a mentor, I can understand their thirst, the thirst for for something called innovation. So that innovation culture, how to start with the ideation is most important. If ideation is perfect, then obviously they will be successful 100% in creating their enterprise. Not only that, they can also file patents, sir. They can file patent, which will be a royalty income from there for them for lifetime.
Okay, sir. Thank you. If anyone having question.
Hello, sir. I have a question. Sir, as an electrical engineer, what are the industrial knowledge we should acquire to get a job
See, it depends on the sector. Like which sector you are going to apply. See,
Sir,
if you are
in
going to
core
apply for
sector?
in all sector.
In core sectors.
In core sector is electrical engineering. Core sector is electrical power stations, whether it be hydro, whether it be nuclear, or whether it be like thermal. So there, your core engineering is sufficient. Your core engineering is sufficient. If you study well about your core subject, your core subject means well, along with some of the skill which I've shown, no? Which have the skills like you should be more adaptable to the system integration. Like see the things which you are studying have changed a lot in the practical aspect because many things like IoT and AI inside, artificial intelligence inside has come into picture in all equipments and machines, and the parameters have also changed. Parameters have also changed in the sense now they are on a real time basis. So you should be understanding that your basic engineering won't change, your basic theory won't change, but changes are in the applied areas. So you should know how to apply those basic and core engineering of electrical engineering into the applied sciences, and these things are happening continuously. So you should, apart from your studies, you should be more interested in what are the new researches, new activities going on in your field, in your area of study. Like electrical engineering is also divided into many other things, subsets. So those subsets you can take advice from your faculty members, and you can visit some of the sites, research sites, and government research sites. There are 5 or 6 government research sites. I will share with Asing sir. He will share with you. You can just flip on some of the journals and try to understand what are the latest developments in the applied sciences of electrical engineering in the present situation. So that way you'll be confident when you're going for the interview. No, they will ask one question, you can give 3 to 4 answers. So that should be the point.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, there is one question. In today's time, agent must to work on multiple fields at a time because that makes efficiency low, leading to no command even at one thing. One student question, sir. This is the question asked by Aniket Ankush.
Yes. So see now for the industries are not going to recruit more. They will recruit very less people. So they want person who is master of all, isn't it? They don't want a research person to be in the industry because due to the lesser equipment, he should be in a position to take charge of many other areas also. But what he has asked is very relevant if he's going for a research institute. For research institute, a master of all is not required. He should be very effective in his particular subject area. If he's into the academic field, then he has to be very effective in a subject area. But if he's in industry, no, nowadays he has to be a multifarious person. He should be HR person. He should be a operations person. He should be a finance person. He should understand all aspects which is going to affect his particular area of business.
Okay, sir. Any more question?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yes, please ask.
Good evening, sir. I am Rishabh Gupta from second year. And so my question is, sir, in which field we should apply for internship? Either it is field of interest or field in demand.
Presently, there is nothing called field of interest. All interest is subdued by the demand. So we also don't know what is demand tomorrow. So we all are running basis on the assumption that demand, some this type of demands will be tomorrow. So it's totally a dynamic environment is going on. So you should more focus on not of the interest but on demand. Like what are the demands which is scaling up due to where the electrical engineering can have a support. Because if I say for digitization, no, it is not a part of the computer science and electronics anymore. It is part of all the fields. It's part of mechanical engineering. It's part of electrical engineering. It is part of civil engineering. It is part of chemical engineering. Every engineering, this subject called AI or advanced technology has emerged out. So you should always take chance or if you have a chance to take an opportunity to discuss, you always discuss on demand, not on interest.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, there is one question. in long run, what is more important? It's ability to get a job or ability to earn money?
Second one.
Second one.
Because ability to get job, I don't know what type of jobs will be there in future. But if you have the ability to earn money, no, so job
Yes.
will be there.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Job
there is
will
one
be
more. There is one more question. What is career opportunity in a research field after BTech?
After BTech, JRF, Junior
Yeah.
Research Fellow,
Yeah.
because you have to be a master's. After that, you have to be a PhD to be a faculty of or a scientist in research lab.
Yes.
Minimum requirement is doctorate.
Yeah. Any more question? So, okay, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah,
So-
thank you.
Abhishek, place the vote of thanks.
Yes, Priyanka.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. Now it's my privilege to present a token of appreciation on the behalf of the whole Electrical Engineering Society to Mr. P.K. Fukan, sir, who has bestowed us with his words of valuable experience. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you all.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.